What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tim Sports Talk. And today we got Sanchez 405 in the building. Corey from On the Warpath. How you doing today, Corey?
I'm doing good, Tim. Thanks for having me on again, brother. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Anytime. It's fun always to have a chat with Corey. So thank you again for coming on. And how's your channel doing? What's next for the On the Warpath channel? Give us some updates there.
Well, we'll have some humorous Warpath Wednesday. I think we had a good one last week with Paulie and G from the shop. As you know, those are guys that call in the Team 980 all the time. Unfortunately, we lost our star in Travis Thomas is shipping up to Boston. So I need something else to listen to from 9 to noon now. But Scott Jackson is filling in pretty well for him. But yeah, have somebody on. If not, I'll be doing like a open forum on Wednesday. And probably after the draft, be out for maybe a Sunday edition of On the Warpath, not just Chain of Command. We're going to have to get you on there one day too, Tim, because I think you didn't two up me on having me on your channel, so I need to like at least return the favor.
Well, you had me first. You had me first, so I had to double up to just make that even. So there you go. But no, all right. Cool. So, well, of course, we got a good show. Unfortunately, it's not going to start great. We are going to talk about the Dwayne Haskins situation, but then we'll get into some roster stuff and, of course, a lot about the draft. But let's start with Dwayne Haskins. And we don't know a lot of what happened right now, the basics of what we know. Apparently, he did get struck by a vehicle trying to cross the street. We don't know why. There's rumors both directions of why. The last thing I saw that I looked up before this is apparently an eyewitness did call the police at 6:31 a.m. seeing a man running onto the road. He apparently says that he did not see a vehicle on the side of the road, but people are saying that he got car trouble and tried to like go over there. So it's still up in the air exactly what happened. But go ahead and give your thoughts on the Haskins situation here.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. It's heartbreaking because, I don't really care about what the circumstances of it is. It's a 24-year-old man who had, the rest of his life in front of him, not to sound cliche, but, I'm 31 and, I have a lot of friends that are in the age of Dwayne Haskins, and I think about them. I think about myself, just like, what that's like and what his family's going through, his mother, his father, that's a parent's nightmare is to outlive their child. And then how close he was with his sister and what she's going through, and not only what his wife is going through. Let's just cut to the chase, right, bro? There were people who were out there criticizing him. Gil Brandt, who I thought made some vile comments on Sirius XM NFL radio. And, it was very un-Gil Brandt-like to make those kind of, I listened to that a lot. And he just seems like he's just, like your old granddad on there. But I guess he's like your old granddad if he like was Clint Eastwood or something instead of being like, the old guy from Up, right? But I thought what he said was vile and totally inappropriate.
It was ridiculous.
Just say you're sorry to hear from. It don't matter how you feel about him or what you thought of him through the process. Yes, a lot of us think that he should have stayed there. I don't think he should have been a first round pick. He was more like he was a day 2 pick. He was a day 2 talent who needed some maturation. I'm on the record of criticizing that he needed to grow up. I call him Strip Club Simba, for God's sake. But at the end of the day, this was a young man that you wanted to see succeed. He was a local product by direction of Jersey and everything. But, it's unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate. I kind of liken it to the Sean Taylor situation, that you have people who were critical of him. Thankfully, you didn't hear anything from Colin Cowherd or old fat Bama from NBA, Michael Wilbon. We didn't hear anything negative from him, from those cowards. But I think that it's devastating. It's just awful to see that. You see that happen for a young to anybody, let alone a young man like that, and whatever he was going through.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's funny that you did mention Sean Taylor. I thought about it. It's like the second first-round pick in 20 years, both in a freak accident in Florida, both 24 years old. Like, it's nuts how there is a lot of similarities here. Obviously, the tenure here was different, but as you said, it's not completely relevant, but it's just, it is crazy. The first thing I saw when I saw it in the Discord, somebody had sent it there, I just said, OMG, and I said, that's so sad. Because it is. It was crazy to hear. You were going to remember where you were when you heard that news. It was kind of, the latest one that I can remember was when I heard Kobe died.
Right.
You know, just a big athlete where you just don't see these things coming at all. But I'm 100% in agreement with you. What Gil Brandt said was ridiculous. He went into details. Like the Scheffner thing, a lot of people are hating on him. He just said the word struggling. And you would have thought that, I mean, he said strip club Simba. The hate all over the video on that one, I think is a bit overboard. But I mean, and also, he corrected the mistake. He deleted the tweet. He brought up a different one. Like, it's not like he had malice. He clearly did not have hatred. Where I feel like Gil Brandt was coming from he clearly had serious malice against him for some reason. Whether, I guess it is because he followed him for a long time. Because to be slightly fair, he was asked a question of what his thoughts were about his career or something like the guy did ask like a direct question that way, but you didn't have to go as far as he did. That was just absolutely ridiculous. Where I don't know, and it was also funny. I guess I don't know if you would say professionalism or what, but the guy just moved on. Whoever was interviewing him, I don't even know who it was, but he just kept going like, yep, that was a normal answer to this question, and we're going to move on to the next thing. It was ridiculous.
I think for that sake, and, you know, we've had that situation. I've had that situation on the radio before, and you kind of have to look past some things, and where you can't really see people's reaction and everything. I think that was for fear of even further retribution, was just moving past, because to me, I don't know how you come back and respond to that and be like, Gil be, and you know, who would have known? You know, maybe they had ran out of lime jello at the nursing home for Gil or something. I don't know. Maybe Jerry Jones didn't pay his his pension this week or something. He probably like he got tapioca instead of getting chocolate pudding. I don't know. Like
he did put out an apology, but that's one that apology ain't gonna fix. That's gonna be time. You're not gonna get that one fixed.
And he ain't got too much of it.
Because you said you listened to Gil Brandt. I didn't even really know the name, to be honest with you. So this was like, okay, some old dude that apparently followed Haskins just wanted to trash him. But anyway, so before we move on, I did want to end on some positive memories of Haskins, because a lot of us definitely don't have too many, but there were some cool ones. Like his first victory over Detroit, he had he drove into field goal range twice, once to tie, once to take the lead, and he got his first victory. That was fun. The defense also iced it with back-to-back picks for him, so he got his first W. Then you had the opener of the 2020 season where we were down 17-0. He didn't play fantastic in that game, but he had no turnovers, and we did end up coming back. He threw a touchdown. We won that game. And in 2019, at the last game of the year, he did give us some hope against that Giants, did he not? 12 for 15, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns in one half of football.
Yep.
And we thought, he's figured it out. Sweet. We're going to have him for 2020 in the future. It just took some rookie growing pains. Of course, it didn't go from there. But there were some positives to take away from the Haskins tenure here, so I wanted to end it with at least a few of them. So there you go. All right. Rest in peace, Dwayne. Here we go. Washington Commander stuff. You digging the name yet?
I was over the name change back in August of 2020. As long as it gets us to talking about more closer to football and less malfeasance, good. So it is, right? It's not a good name. It's not a great name. It's not a terrible name. It's just there. I don't care. It's a football name. It's a football team. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm with you. It is what it is. I don't hate it. I'm not sitting here crying about it.
Look here. Look. What am I still wearing out here? What are you still wearing? What you got in your background?
Yeah.
If I pull down this green screen, what I got in my background?
Yeah.
Redskins. That's all. It don't matter.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah. I am not in any rush to go ahead and buy a bunch of new gear. I don't have the money for it anyway. And then even if I did,
Super
it's
chat
not
this
something.
man. Super chat this man so he can get some money, y'all. So he can get some new gear. Super chat this brother right now. Hit the button.
Hit the button. No. All right. Thanks. But here we go. All right. All right. You said you wanted to get to some football. Let's get to some actual football. Is this roster? I asked Nati the same question. Is this roster better, worse, or even heading into the draft compared to last year? Like, have we gotten better, worse, or even?
Uh-oh.
We're losing you a little bit, Corey.
Can you hear me? Hey.
You're coming in and out.
I'm still here?
Okay. I think maybe. You're definitely a little fuzzy. I'm not sure. The connection's not great, but it is what it is.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, good. I would lean to the left. I would lean to we've gotten slightly worse. I feel like we've gotten better, like at the quarterback position, but I feel like what you've had to do to get better at that position has kind of hurt a couple of positions. I think you look at the guard spot, right? You had to get rid of the fake all-pro because he was just going to be too much money. And then you got rid of Eric Flowers, but you get Andrew Norwell. So by the law cause and effect right there, 2 minus 1 means you're less than 2. So you got worse right there. Landon Collins, when he actually played that Buffalo nickel, which I still in a conspiracy theory world, he will come back because he will realize that his value is little to none out there in the open market. But that's just this gambling man's, hope. So I think we've gotten worse. I do think we've gotten worse, even though I like Carson Wentz. I don't like what it took for us to get him. But I think you have gotten a lot better at the quarterback spot. Anybody that tells you that needs to get drug tested right away, and you need to report them to the police because they're selling milk to school. That's what they are.
You gotta love the quick ones from Corey. He's always got them. But no, I think we gotten better because the quarterback position is that much better. Now, if you take the quarterback position away, you're right. We've objectively gotten worse. We've only lost. We haven't really added anything other than Norwell. I think what is his name? Bada or something? Like,
yeah.
How many people? How many people have we added other than that? I can't even think of anybody else. And even if we did add, it ain't somebody of note. We didn't go out and get anybody other than the quarterback position. But this is a quarterback-driven league. It's the most important position on the field. We knew we were going to lose Sheriff. I did not want to lose Flowers or Matt Ioannidis. Now, I'm more understanding now of the Eric Flowers because he is $10 million, and we do have a great offensive line coach. I think we could fix that. I think we'll figure that one out. But I was pretty sad after losing Tim Settle and Matt Ioannidis. I thought that one was crazy. But did you like those moves? Did you think that those moves were made sense in your mind?
No, they didn't make sense. I think honestly, what Ron did with those, it's weird because Tim Settle, and then the reason why they got rid of Matt Ioannidis was really kind of insubordination because he really wasn't agreeing with the coaches, according to a couple of reporters, and how they were playing him and all this stuff. So you want to keep Matt Ioannidis, I get that, but you knew this was coming anyway. So why don't you cut him, then just slightly overpay for Tim Settle, who I think is a local kid, but then again, maybe Tim Settle wanted to get out of the area. I mean, he went to Stonewall Jackson, went to Virginia Tech, and played for Washington for 4 years. I guess you might want to be able to spread your wings. So good on her. As far as thing made absolutely no sense. I think you had to make a bet, and we don't know what kind of effort they did, but I think you had to keep him because that was the biggest wrong. To me, that was the biggest thing of Ron saying, I screwed up. Let's go back and trade for this guy who I let walk in free agency last year. You made up for it. Your left side was the best last year, and it's not even close. So So I understand some of that, and especially when you re-up Charles Leno. Why wouldn't you want his running mate, who was with them the whole time, to be right there with them again this year? But I guess Norwell, I trust John Matsko, Travell Wharton, in working with this one. But I understand the Matt Ioannidis more than I understand letting Eric Flowers walk though.
Fair enough. See, I feel like I'm the opposite, but that's the beauty of sports talk. Who knows, really?
Yeah.
But because of the coaching, we both like the coaching, so figured, you know what, we could make. But I do understand 1,000% your point of having chemistry there between the tackle and the guard certainly helps. There's no doubt about it. And you had two guys that played pretty darn well together. It'd be nice to keep them together, especially since both of them. Well, you got one under contract that you just re-upped, and then you already had the other. Why not hang on to him? But
exactly.
It is what it is. But overall, I'm gonna say I think we got better. How much better? It's gonna depend on how well, like, which Carson Wentz do we get? Do we get 20 Carson Wentz with what, 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, or do we get 2017 2019 Carson Wentz? It is what it is. But all right, what's up, everybody in the chat? Outlaw King, Roger Smith, need to fix the second level of that defense. The secondary isn't that outstanding. This fan base thinks the defense is good. It isn't. It sucks. That sounds something like Roger would say. Coaching,
he wants us to run the wing T. He's ready for us to run the wing T again. So
yeah, the Navy Georgia Tech offense.
Oh, where's that 46 defense, Roger?
That's awesome. If we didn't cut Matt, trading Payne would have been a real possibility. Now he's too necessary for the roster. And that's another point when you were talking about it is Tim Settle probably wanted to start. He's been a backup since he's gotten here. He may have just wanted an he thinks he's good enough to start. I want to go somewhere else to start. I don't want to be in rotation, but we'll see. Roster could be better if we trade Payne. Ooh. So he wants to trade Payne as well. Defense seems worse than it is because the offense has been so bad. There is some credence to that, but there's also a lot of credence to they just did not perform well. But when we did slow it down in that 4-game win streak, kept the defense rested and off the field as much as possible, they clearly started playing a whole lot better on top of that. So there is a little bit of give and take there, but go ahead.
So are you saying the fact of when we ran the football, played possession football,
yeah,
and that worked. Let's just Dallas, and we're like, let's just throw it all card and done with it. My gosh, yeah, no, I 110% agree with you, bro.
Yep, yeah, and also Taylor Heinicke was on one with those third and shorts. I mean, he had to be like 80-90% during that 4-game win streak on third and 4 or shorter. It was awesome. So that was a fun 4-game streak. Let's live in that past. So we just go back to that. Screw everything else. Let's go back to that 4-game win streak, beating Tom Brady.
Oh my gosh, it was just in beating Russell Wilson too, and who else did we beat in that streak?
We beat the Raiders and who was the last team?
The Panthers, yeah, because it was on my birthday.
Panthers.
Yeah, it was on my birthday.
We beat that was Cam Newton's reunion, right?
Yeah. Oh God, that made me. I wanted the game more than I wanted that because we had go Newton shit. Cam Newton better than anything we got. I'm like, oh, really? I said, let's watch this. I said, because all these little Washington Commander fans that we had that were on, that like, we had fans rooting for Cam Newton to beat us that day. And I was like, are y'all on crack? Like, what candy-coated crack were y'all smoking that day? Like, could Ron just be right for what it turns out? So, I don't know. Let's not live in the past on that.
Yeah, I feel you. This is a good point. Yeah, this is a good point here from Red Wings. Need a new answer at kick returner, punt returner. That is now a hole that needs to be filled, whether it's somebody on the roster or do you think we go ahead and draft a guy in the draft that maybe tries to fill that role? Who do you think, do you have an idea of who you would want to put back there of currently on the roster?
I mean, only one, I think, Robert said it too, Danny Johnson. The only thing about Danny Johnson is, he's not going to fumble it away because he's just going to, be safe about it most of the time. We've seen that from him, especially when him and Steve Sims were back there. Danny'd be like, yeah, fair catch or whatever. if you go out and first get somebody like Derek Stingley, try to put him back there, see what he could do. A talent like that. I mean, that's that position flex that Ron's talking about. I don't know if anybody else, maybe Jared Patterson, get him back there, return kicks. He looked like old Rock Cartwright back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can totally see that on kick return. Yeah.
He'd be like Rock Cartwright, just running down like what was it? I'm trying to think of what game, or TJ Duckett. Like, remember when TJ Duckett was returning kicks back for us too?
I don't remember that one as much as Rock Cartwright. Cartwright was just a bowling ball going down the lane into pins. Like, he just there was not a lot of side to side, but he would average a decent average per kick return.
Yes,
because he just north south bang. So I could totally see Jarrett Patterson doing that.
There you go. Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's draw that up for Nate Katzer to get him to go and do that. So.
I personally, I don't know about kick return, but punt return, Curtis Samuel.
Oh,
could Curtis
Paul
Samuel?
Richardson, yeah,
Paul Richardson. Yeah,
yes.
Of course he's got to play. He's got to be healthy for more than 3 seconds. But yeah, Curtis Samuel could be a guy that I think would be really, really effective in that role. And we've seen Antonio Brown, Deshaun Jackson in their heyday. They could return kicks. So why can't Curtis Samuel go ahead and return some punts?
Dax Milne was actually last when I went to Richmond. Dax Milne was actually back there with DeAndre Carter picking up punt returns. He struggled field done really made. That's what I really thought DeAndre Carter was going to make this roster, was when he was fielding off the gun and he didn't put anything on the carpet. So maybe in year 2, maybe that might be your solution is Dax Milne. He could be a guy there to look out for. Yeah,
I could see him being like a Trey Quinn back there not a super effective returner of it, but a guy that could be a high IQ, know when to fair catch, know when to let it go, kind of that ordeal. I'd be curious to see how well he does at it, but I don't know. We do have a couple of options though, but I think it's obviously going to be a downgrade unless you go to Curtis. I think Curtis is the only one that could possibly be an actual upgrade at the position personally.
Right.
Yeah. All right. On to this draft stuff. So Washington is having the top 30 visits, and I don't think we've done I've never heard of this, so I don't think it's done this in the past. So I feel like this is new. And it's kind of interesting of how do you go about these visits? Because usually people want to keep all this stuff like close to the vest, right? We don't want to know as many people, or we don't want to tell people who we're really looking at. It seems like Washington's kind of taken this route of try to get as many top 100 players in the building. I only see out of the people, according to PFF at least, 2 or 3 of the guys are like late round picks. Most of these guys are within the top 100, but let's go ahead and just go through these. So we've got 3 running backs in the building. Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall are both projected to go in the second round. And then LSU running back Tyrion, maybe, Davis Price from LSU. He's late round pick, 5th to 7th round. PFF has him ranked right now as 218. Is this a sign that we're actually going to go running back here? Or do you think this is more of, I think Jarris said, to get a fire under Antonio Gibson to say, hey, you haven't been playing too well?
I think a little bit of both, because everything that Ron does is intentional. Everything he says, he's the worst poker player in the world for a man named Riverboat, right?
Yeah.
I think where there is literal smoke, there is fire. This organization, I think they will go after a running back probably in day 2 or early in day 3. I even against their best interest, I think they're looking for somebody who can do most things, who can run the ball, can catch out of the backfield. That's what Randy Jordan's specialty is. He was dual threat running back when he was he's worked with some dual running backs before. We talk about Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick now. So I think that's where they're going to lead. That's where they're going to lean to, is getting one of these guys. Whichever guy is the better of the dual threats, I think they'll come off the board for Washington.
Wow, you think as early as second round potentially?
I said day 2. I didn't say. I believe.
Well, now all we have is a second round pick on day 2.
See,
but,
I'm showing hand here, so that's I'm showing my. See, I'm like Ron because I believe in trading. I believe trading 11 to get more picks.
Okay.
And recouping that third round pick. So that's the mindset I'm living with right now in here.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, yeah, we'll definitely come back to that. We're gonna find out what GM Corey is going to do later in this show for sure. All right, next up, we got wide receiver. And so far, everybody knows we want wide receiver. It's blatantly obvious because it's one of our biggest needs, honestly. A number 2 receiver to fit with Terry McLaurin. We know we can't trust Curtis Samuel and so forth. Chris Olave, we brought in. He's right now ranked 21. A lot of people are projecting us to take him at 11. And then the other one that could be a second or third round pick, John Mechie from Alabama. Currently a PFF ranked number 83 on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You think either one of these are going to be a Burgundy of Gold potentially, or do you think this is just
Olave? Olave. I think that's the play. I think they would reach for this guy. Ron was very hugging on him at the pro day and everything, and he kind. I don't know if they believe get Garrett Wilson right. Mm-hmm. So I think Olave would be the move there. More of a better route runner than Garrett Wilson is. So not saying that he's a better wide receiver, just saying that, from what they've been talking about, he's a better route runner. So I think it would be the.
All right, fair enough. We're definitely going receiver. It's interesting that we've only brought 2 in, and you might be right. This might be just a complete play of we're going for Olave if he's there at 11.
Right.
It's just happening. And John Mechie is going to be our backup. If for whatever reason the Jets reach on him even higher, then we'll go ahead and just take somebody else later in the draft. But yeah, it seems like Olave is their go-to at pick number 11 if there. All right. Roger mentioned it. I know he said it's a big receiver mistake, but he does mention O-line, and we have brought in some O-line. It's the biggest position that we've brought in. We've brought in 5 different guys. Rasheed Walker from Penn State, Abraham Lucas from Washington State, Luke Godek from CMU, Spencer Buford, and Tyler Smith. Pretty much all of these guys except for Spencer Buford. There's an R in there. I want to say Buford, but there's an extra R in there. Buford. He's a 4th to 7th round. Do we go back-to-back years of taking an offensive tackle in the second round? Because most of these guys are projected in that second, third round pick range.
It could be possible, man. I think that, addressing the offensive line probably a day need, right? I just feel like this is a point. This is Corey. I'm thinking all of this, right? You might not be able to stop anybody next year. So you need weapons of mass destruction to contend in NFC East, right? Because it couldn't stop a cold. So stop a cold, going at it with everything with full force. So I just think you need to have a arms race and get the best young talent you can to make this offense a little bit better, and then think about the defense later. And then, to be honest with you, Sadiq Charles, when he was healthy in there, he played pretty well because I think he wasn't he the right tackle against Tampa Bay? He's a starting right tackle or something. Yeah, he was the right tackle in that game. I'm pretty sure.
You might be right because I know Cosby did go down. Did Cornelius go down for a time? Is that
was he down? Was he?
Sadiq Charles definitely played, but I don't know if he. I'm struggling to remember if he played tackle specifically.
Yeah, and we're looking at this from his lens. A couple of these cats are going to take a jump forward, right? Like your Keith Ishmaels or your Sadiq Charles, kids like that. I think they're going to make a better push forward this year, and they're going to compete. They're going to push like people like Wes Schweitzer, who we think may be your starting right guard next year. So maybe you don't make this need. Maybe you're going to believe in developing your talent in that situation, because everybody's like quick to throw up their hands like, we don't have him, but we got to draft him. Offensive line, we haven't had to worry about the offensive line for the last 2 years, and whoever's put out there, we were down to our 5th center winning ball games, man.
So, or at least competing, yeah. For
exactly.
Sure. For sure. Okay, cool. So the only other thing, there's a couple of other guys we brought in, a couple of safeties, a tight end with Jalen Weidermeyer, and then a D tackle, Cameron Thomas. But the bigger news is no linebackers, as of right now, have come for a visit. And we listened to Ron Rivera and Martin Mayhew talk about how they believe in Cole Holcomb that could be the middle of this defense. Do we really not draft a linebacker in the 2022 NFL draft and just believe in what we have?
What do we have? What do we have in Washington at linebacker that makes us believe that Ron Rivera believes that? I mean, you carried 4 on your you basically carried 4 to make the roster at the end of training camp. Then you did all this other moving around and everything. What we think David Mayo's going to be good. We think that Jordan
Kunajek.
Jordan Kanasic is going to be the guy who is going to come out here and be the next coming to Ray Lewis. No, stop that. You need linebacker help, man. And if you don't have that, you need to. This is why you need to maybe make amends with Landon Collins, right? Because he kind of made up for that linebacker deficiency that you had. But the fact that they aren't looking at a linebacker and they don't get one, I'd say in the first 4 rounds, I think that is ignorant, to say the least. That is very ignorant of Ron Rivera. Because what did I say, Tim? What did I say? If we can't trust Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio to draft a proper linebacker, then we have more problems than we think. And damn it, that blew up in front of us wholeheartedly last year. So yeah, I think that's so stupid not to go out and find your linebacker. I mean, you got the kid out of Wyoming. It was Muma. And then the kid from Montana State was it Anthony Stevens or what's that kid's name? Troy Anderson or something.
Troy Anderson.
Troy Anderson. Yeah. So, I mean, those are guys that I think you got to look at them and see.
I know
what they can
BC liked Brian Asamoah, I think is his name, from Oklahoma at linebacker for us. He's on a couple of Washington. That's interesting. And then I'm hearing, of course, Leo Chanel from Wisconsin I saw his pro day. I mean, good night. 40-inch vertical and 4.4 speed or something crazy. Like, he had big numbers coming out of a linebacker spot, and he's big. He's a big boy too. So that could be an interesting pick in the second. I'm just such a big fan of Nakobe Dean, and I've kind of resigned myself to we're not going to get Nakobe Dean. But talk about a guy with just the it factor, right? Just he has something that you just can't coach. It's the smarts, the intelligence, the football IQ that I would just love to be the quarterback of this defense. But it's been a slow process of denial, but it seems like I'm just not going to get my wish there. All right, GM Corey has entered the building. Pick number 11, you alluded to it earlier. What are we doing with pick number 11? Where are you going?
We trading back, boys. We trading back.
How far?
I feel like you can always get a wide receiver in the high 20 range, right? So maybe in it would be like 20, 21, 22. Let's trade back range. Let me actually pull up the listing here. Was it NFL Draft 2022?
I'll read chat here. Fats Only Sports linebacker DeMarco Jackson from Appalachian State is a guy.
Appalachian. That gets you in fight if you say that wrong where I'm from.
What did I say? What did I even say?
You said Appalachian. It's Appalachian.
Appalachian?
Yes,
Appalachian. All right, thank you for saving me. Thank God. I had the right guy on the show to make sure I did not pull my own Adam Schefter here. Cannot go off the wall.
Struggling.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. That's for sure. All right, Appalachian.
Yeah,
Appalachian State is a guy that could go between the 4th and 6th round that is flying under the radar. Tape is impressive in pursuit. I feel like I looked into it. Isn't he a little bit undersized, BC? I don't know how much I'm a fan of. If it's the guy I'm thinking of, I feel like he's a little bit undersized, but I could be thinking about somebody else late. What up, Bird Gang? Patrick Westonhouse. Georgia fans say their D-line made Dean look good. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, it is hard to judge.
London Fletcher. He got a little London Fletcher in him.
Yes, exactly. I'm always hesitant to make that comparison because I feel like I'm putting too much, but it's impossible to go there. It's impossible not to go there, I should say. 6'1", 231. So he's not very undersized, but he's not big either. I don't know. I feel like I've watched him, but I could be wrong. Anyway, all right. Back at it. So where are we trading back to?
Let's call Pittsburgh up. That's where I would go. I'd call Pittsburgh up right there around that 20 range. Let's see where they're at. Maybe they got a 2 here that we could get. Maybe a 3. Let's see here. How many picks they have in the 3rd round? I got to double check this one. That's who I'm going where. I would definitely go with Pittsburgh. They got 84. You could trade back, give them 11. You could get 1. You could get pick 20, pick 84. That gives you a 3rd right there. Heck, I mean, if they were really desperate to get a quarterback up there, maybe you can fleece them, try to get 52 as well, and just trade back.
That would be massive.
Yeah.
I mean, because that might mean a guaranteed running back in the 2nd. Because then we could maybe add Breece Hall. I would like I'm liking where you're going here. If we do trade back to 20, I completely agree that is almost an ideal location for it is, because I think that difference is how you could recoup the Carson Wentz losses.
Green Bay also.
Green Bay, you could really recoup. Green Bay, you could probably will get a 1st for next year.
Yep. Pick 22. They're at pick 22, so that's right there in that range.
Oh, wait, are they 22? I thought they were like 26 or something.
They got 22? The Raiders pick 2, remember? So they got pick 22, they got
the Devontae Adams trade. I got you.
Yeah, they've got 4 picks in the first 100, so.
Ooh, okay. Fair enough. That's going to be interesting to see where they go there. I would like to trade in front of Green Bay, or I will take Green Bay's 22nd, because I think they like a guy that I really like, because if I did trade back to the late 20s, actually, let me ask you first before I give mine. So we traded back to 20 or 22, take your pick. Now where are you going?
I would probably go wide receiver. I think the best wide receiver on the board. I think I would be a little safe in making that pick, unless like Nakobe Dean has like some ungodly fall to the 20s. I take Nakobe Dean because I'm hoping that the young man from Arkansas at wide receiver, Burks is still there. And who's the Pickens from Georgia is possibly still there too. I don't know.
That's my guy.
Yeah,
I love me some George Pickens, and that's exactly who I would eyeball if we traded back to that 20 or 22. It's probably a slight reach, but I think he could be the best receiver in this class. 6'3", 205, great hands, can run a route, 4.4 speed, toughness. I mean, his highlight tape has literally him pancaking dudes in the blocking game. To me, there's nothing. The only thing that's going to knock him down a little bit is lack of production. He didn't have tremendous numbers there in the SEC. Granted, he didn't have great quarterback play. He did come off an injury. I don't know. There's excuses you can make for him, but the fact of the matter is production's not tremendous. But you like to mention George Kittle didn't have a whole lot of production, right?
Yes.
In Iowa, and now look at him. You could just see the physical attributes, the tape on the film of what he's produced. You know that guy could be a serious baller. So I absolutely love it. Okay, here we go. We have 6 picks as of right now. Let's assume that we're going to have the 6 picks, and we're just going to stay in there. What positions are we going for? Now, you can double up a position. Like if you decide we need 2 of something, that's fine. So I'm not limiting you to 1, or you could triple up if you feel that desperate for something. But we have 6 picks. What are our 6 picks that we're going, or what are the 6 positions of need that you feel the most that we need to draft in this?
As far as need goes, I think you got to go linebacker. I think anything in the secondary, so cornerback, safety. I think you need a wide
DB.
Yeah. So any DB. So right. I think wide receiver is another key on offense. You can always have another running back there. Interior defensive lineman is another one, and then I think you can't have enough offensive linemen. So I would go O-line there, and that would make up my 6 needs, wants, or should addresses in the league. Because
all right, say it one more time. I got 4 of them. I was reading the chat. I'm terrible at multitasking. I don't know why.
You're like me. You're like me. So, bro, I know how you feel.
All right, so I got linebacker, DB, wide receiver, OL. I got those 4.
And I've got running back and defensive tackle.
Running back and D tackle.
Is there?
All right. Well, me and you, same page. Those are my exact 6 positions of need as well. So it seems like it's obvious what the Washington football team needs, especially with losing Matt Ioannidis and Tim Settle. So a rotational D tackle late seems like an obvious. Running back is one that people wafer on. Like my dad is completely anti running back in this draft. He does not want anything to do with the running back. And some other people feel a similar way. So, all right. So now we know our 6 positions that you want to go. What is your ideal location for each spot here? So in the first round, whether you're picking in the we're assuming we're keeping our picks. So we're picking at 11. What is your ideal? Not your prediction. What's your ideal? Where are you going?
Ideal would be linebacker.
Okay.
Ideal would be linebacker. Or, God damn, you got me now, because if one of them corners is there, oh, Lord have mercy. Dagnabbit. Yeah, let's just
You can change it. You can change it. You want DB 1?
Yeah, let's go, because I think you got some premier talent right there. Because especially Stingley or Hamilton fall, I think you got to jump on those cats. Second round, I think you have to go wide receiver, right? Okay, I think you need to add to the offense, and usually that's where you can find some decent wide receivers who become. I don't think like some of your top receivers in the league, most of them aren't really first round picks. If you instead of like Jefferson and Chase over the last couple of years, but a lot of them are like a lot of day
1,000% agree. Yeah, I'm so anti first round wide receiver as a principle. I'm right there with you. But okay. So wide receiver. Second round. So now we're going into the 4th round.
Let's go linebacker. And you can find one of these diamonds in the roughs out there. Do we have 2 4s?
No.
Okay.
You wish. We have 2 7s.
Oh God. Okay, well that's even better then.
Yep. So who are we going in the 6th?
Let's get beefy. Let's go defensive tackle.
Oh, okay, so D tackle in the 6th rather. Okay, sweet. So that will leave offensive line and running back in your ideal in the 7th.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see. You're pretty dang close to Nati. I think Nati may have. No, he went running back in the 4th.
Okay.
Running back in the 4th, linebacker in the 6th. And I think he said those were like interchangeable. So you guys are somewhat close in it. My ideal personally would be linebacker number 1, and I ain't wavering because I want Nakobe Dean.
I hear you.
I just want him. So that would be my ideal. This is not a prediction. This is my ideal. Wide receiver in the 2nd. George Pickens is my wet dream. But we'll see how that goes. In the 4th, we're going linebacker. Not linebacker, sorry, that's yours. In my 4th, I'm going offensive lineman. I think there's some interesting offensive linemen that could be in that range. And we're actually looking at a couple of them with Luke Kodak from CMU. He had like a 92 PFF. He's right in the range of pick 100. Maybe he slips a little bit into the 4th. We have 110 in the 4th, I think?
Yes,
something like that.
I think that sounds right.
So that's right in the ballpark of potentially could be there. So I think that could be interesting. And then in the 6th, I was going to go DB, and that would leave D tackle and running back in my 7ths. Tim, TMI with his 3 a.m. draft analysis. And hey,
I see people talking about tight ends too. I'll give you one who you might want to be out on the lookout for, and I talk about him a lot. James Mitchell out of Virginia Tech. I've seen this kid play at every level. I've seen him play at high school. If you just go watch Good Morning Football, he had a good interview on there. Got to see him play basketball too. He was a good basketball player. Mom went to Brown. I actually work with his mom now. And
Mitchell, what's his first name?
James Mitchell.
James Mitchell.
The governor. He's part of that position flex. He ran in a couple of touchdowns with the Hokies. He caught some touchdowns. He did have a knee injury, so it could slide him down to day 3 or maybe an undrafted stat. But I think this is a guy who Washington should look at. I'm just saying.
6'4", 249. You said there was a knee injury, so he probably didn't do the combine.
I don't think so. He was invited to the combine, so I don't know what he did, if he did anything or not.
I got you. Day 3 recap. It looks like they just took his measurables. I don't think he ran. But interesting. Okay. And that is, like, I think tight end would be my next one in. You know, like, if I had to pick another set, like a 7th pick, if I had one, I think that would be my next one to fall into place, because right now without Logan Thomas, or with Logan Thomas, I should say, as an uncertainty, we don't know what he's going to end up being at pick number, or not pick number, but at the week 1 of the season, rather. It seems like we need to address tight end. I would rather go get Jesse James off free agency and fill that hole, because me and Jairus on the same page, and believe it or not, I actually mentioned a player to him first because he loves college football. He watches it all over the place. But Michael Mayer from Notre Dame next year, I would be all over that. He's an absolute stud at the tight end spot for Notre Dame. But he might end up being a first-round pick. So if we draft a tight end, though, this year, and then we drafted John Bates last year, we're not drafting another tight end. So that kind of eliminates. So I'm kind of going ahead of myself here of looking till next year, which you probably shouldn't do when you're going into a draft. But that's kind of where my head is. We'll see. Jelani is my tight end. People like Trey McBride, and Jelani Woods, he's like 6'7" or something crazy like that, isn't he? From Virginia?
Jelani Woods. I haven't seen him.
I remember him.
Let's see here. You got me looking now.
Scouting report: 6'7" and 1/8 inch.
Holy!
253 pounds.
Oh boy, Tony Bennett would have loved to have him on the basketball team. Great day in the morning, man. I should know this.
6'1", 140, 6'10" wingspan, 6'10" wingspan.
These people pay my salary, and I didn't know. I didn't know about this kid. So
that's hilarious. You work at UVA? I knew you worked for college, but I didn't know that.
I work for the smaller version of UVA. So yeah,
the smaller version. Of
yes,
UVA.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, there you go. Fair enough. Well, so it's definitely going to be fun. What are you doing for the draft? You gonna be live streaming it, or
I don't know if I'll be live streaming, but when they do picks, I'll put a video out. I have a golf tournament that week to play it, so I'm like, oh crap. They wanted to do. We were going to go into planning, and I wanted to put it back to May. They were like, well, let's do it this week. I was like, really? 'Cause I wanted to go to the draft party and everything, and up there at FedEx Field, but it was like, no, sorry, Corey, you can't do that, because I actually bought season tickets this year. So,
good for you.
Like,
awesome.
So, I was like, I really want to go this year, but then it's like, nah, sorry, bro, can't do that. So I'm at the will of my committee. So,
yeah. Oh, that's funny you mentioned that. I bought season tickets. Did I get scammed? It says OG DMV. We'll see. We're going to find out if you, quote unquote, got scammed. Hopefully they put a product that is worth watching. But hey, you're welcome to hop in. I'm sure we'll be in the Discord. I'll be live streaming it for the first 2 days. So if there's you want to pop in on your phone or whatever, feel free.
Absolutely.
You should have
Yeah, I got the Discord. I'm in there.
I know you're in the Discord, but I feel like you should have like the privileges or whatever to like be able to hop in to the voice chat when you want. I think. I don't know. We'll make sure because I had to put a limit on it because when I had the open Discord, people would just start in and come in and saying crazy stuff. So.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Tim Barber scanned him with that fade. Man, my man. Harsh on the haircut.
Hey man, that thing, I like that. It's like
it's
like
simple.
It's the equation. Look at mine. I mean, like I got this like fade, fallen, widow, peak, whatever I got, and I like it, dude. The straight line, everything.
I don't know.
It's the rebound.
I had a black man cut my hair, so there you go.
There you go. That's it. Hey, that's why you got the rebound fade.
Yeah,
it's all blocked.
That's right.
Boxed out.
Not a professional barber, but one of my good buddies. One of my good buddies came over.
Man.
He makes sure I'm right because otherwise I don't give a crap. I just let it grow, and I'm just a simple. Give me a 2 all over, so then I don't have to get a cut for a while. You know,
there you go.
That's where I'm at with haircuts. Actually, I've always been there. Like I don't think my hair's ever been longer than like an inch. So there you go. Corey's fade starts to the backside of his head. Wow, Door. Wow, Door.
Wow. Have you seen Door Gunner? Door Gunner's got like, I mean, he's got like the map to Terabithia on his head. Like it's just like it looks like Antarctica. It's like all water and then like pieces of hair like in different spots. Come at me, bro. You know. Oh man. It's like global warming. It's like global warming affected his head already. It's like the map of like you can see the polar ice cap freezing up. So,
all right, well we went there. There's that. He said, "LOL." That's awesome. At least I got a hair up front. At least I got hair up front. He says. It's all relative. It's all relative.
Exactly. Perspective.
It's all perspective.
It's an optical illusion. Ooh.
That is hysterical. That's pretty good. Post Pangea. Oh gosh.
That's my boy.
That's my boy. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Fresh cut. Thanks, man. Greg Dulich. I don't know much about this guy. Can get him in the 6th. Do you know anything about Greg Dulich?
Right, Roger knows these guys.
Oh, he's all over it. The tight end.
Greg Dulich.
Oh, I do know this name.
Oh, from UCLA. This is who I was reading about earlier today, actually.
Yeah.
Because they said he could go somewhere.
My name.
And he looks like a tight end too. He's got the flowing locks. 4 point. 4.7.
4.69.
Yeah, 4.7 there, and the cone drills not too bad,
We'll see. He's definitely not my favorite, but when you're looking at a 6th rounder, and who knows, maybe it could be something at the next level, but we'll see. All right. Here's my last question, and if people want to keep putting questions in the chat for us, feel free, and we'll answer some of those. But here's my last question for you that I have written down.
Yes, sir.
Will Washington have a better record in 2022 than in 2021? Your early predictions here.
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Quarterback.
Just the quarterback?
Got a better quarterback. Got a different quarterback. I think you've got elite arm talent. With Carson, if he stays healthy, right? But that's with everybody if they stay healthy.
Right.
I think a lot of situations that you saw in Indianapolis were down, were because of Jim Irsay. And, I think that in a perfect world, I think Ron Rivera is a better head coach than Frank Reich. I'm not saying a better person. I think Frank Reich is a great person, but I think you look at how they've started, right? They've always started terrible. They'd have the Colts. They start like 1-5, 2-4,
something crazy like that.
Something crazy, and they always have to dig themselves out of hole. Not saying that Washington's perfect. Not saying Ron Rivera's perfect. But I think at the end of the day, I think Ron just kind of selects, and we'll see that this year when we go to Indianapolis. But I think a lot of this stuff with this bad press of Carson Wentz, I do think he's a little sensitive, but I don't think he's that bad of a guy and lacks the leadership that people say. They're talking about a second-year player who said, I wish that my backup didn't win the Super Bowl, and I wish I was doing this. And said, I want that sounds more like a competitor than anything. And I mean,
yeah, what is he supposed to say? Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh God,
it's
I'm
great.
so happy,
it's wonderful.
Nick. Yeah, Hercules. Like when the people up there saying, like when Drew Bledsoe won, when he was on the 2001 Patriots, do you think he was cheering on Tom Brady like internally, like, yes, Tom, go ahead, take my team to the Super Bowl and win? No. He went in the AFC Championship game with a chance to maybe even start against the Rams. It didn't happen. Mm-hmm. But you got to think that killed him. That killed him. And it sucks. So it's a better quarterback situation. Like I said, the media, they will do any narrative they want to in that situation. I think Carson Wentz, he's our guy to roll with. I think he's our guy to die with. I think Taylor may be good for 4 games if he gets hurt, though. And, maybe split it 2-2 or something. But I think he can be effective and win 2 out of 4 games next year if you need it, if Carson's on the pine for a little bit.
Fair enough. And yeah, the other thing is why I agree that we will have a better record in 2022 is... And it's hard to play the schedule game.
Right.
But it's clear and obvious that the schedule is easier from a year ago. Mm-hmm. We don't have Tom Brady, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott twice. Well, we do still have him, but you get the idea. We don't have all of these runs of quarterbacks that we had a year ago. So you got to imagine that we did bring back a lot of talent. Yes, we did not sign everybody, but we upgraded the quarterback position, and we did bring back a whole lot. J.D. McKissick or Leno. We'll see who else they end up grabbing, but Cam Sims. We brought back a lot of our guys, but we'll see how it turns out. So I do agree with you. Here's a question. Somebody's hating on Nakobe Dean from Washington Command Center. How do you think that Nakobe Dean could be our Mike linebacker when he was getting out there trucked by 212-pound quarterbacks? I don't know the specific play, but, hey, it happens to the best of us.
Brian Urlacher got juked by Tom Brady. Doesn't mean that Brian Urlacher was a bad linebacker.
Yes.
He got clowned once. Wow.
He got clowned once. Oh, that's funny. But it's more than just one thing with him. I feel like he could cover. He plays bigger than his size. Mm-hmm. He's high IQ. He was a mechanical engineer. The guy's got a brain on him. Okay, and you can find. I'm sure you could find situations where London Fletcher got beat on something that he shouldn't have got beat. But I just love him. I just think he's a stud. Desmond Ridder ran over Dean. Okay, well, that's just not any 212-pound quarterback either. I mean, that's a 6'4" guy can run like a 4.5 or high 4.4 40. Like that's got some height and speed with it as well. But I don't know. It's interesting. What else we got here? He should be drafted in the second or he should be the second or third middle linebacker drafted. I don't see. I don't know. Like, is there any way? I guess maybe there's some possibility that Leo Chenal gets drafted high because of just physical attributes. But I don't know. It's interesting. Everybody got a bad player on the resume. Exactly. Yeah. Arthur, here, what's Roger say? We had the 13th best rushing offense last year. It will definitely drop. Turner finally got his QB, and we may pass it every down with his pass-happy ass. We're certainly going to pass more than we did with Heineke.
Oh, man.
I think that's okay. Spoiled still going in on my hair. Let's just read it. Why not? Facts, Tim Barbershot told him that they could get a good cut for $20, but lied. It doesn't mean they still can cut.
Yeah, doesn't mean they can still cut.
I don't know. Doesn't mean they still can cut. Maybe. I feel like there was some miscue in that statement.
It's very symmetrical, Tim. I ignore it. Bump the noise and just
I really don't care. I am not somebody who cares about my haircut. I'm okay. I had to get it cut because I was going to a wedding. I'm in a gauntlet of weddings, dude.
I got to go to Washington State. So my cousin who comes on the channel sometimes, Thugnificent, he's getting married. And he thought, and this brother decided to say, you know what? I fall in love with a girl who lives in Washington State. So your boy doesn't fly. So Corey's making a road trip out in August to Washington State. So
you're driving to Washington State?
Yeah, we're gonna see. Yeah, y'all gonna come on the Warpath. We're gonna vlog and have a good time. That's what we're gonna do, your boy. I do want to see the country too. So I've always want to kind of drive and see the country. So thank God he lives in they live they don't live. They're gonna live in Virginia, but the wedding is going to be like in Eastern Washington. So I don't really have to go out to like Seattle and near the coast.
At that point, what does it matter?
That is true.
You're already traveling 2,700 miles.
23 and a half, sir. 23 and a half.
No. I wasn't going hours. I was going miles. Because it's a 3,000-mile country, right? So you're going like
2,300. Yeah, about
something like that. 2,300 miles.
Yep.
And
oh yeah.
Oh, that's good luck. Good luck. Yeah, I'm going to. So I just had a wedding this weekend. I have a bachelor party in Connecticut 2 weekends from now. I got a wedding in Maryland the 30th. May 6th, I'm going to Vegas for another bachelor party. May 28th, I'm going to Wisconsin for a wedding, and then June 17th, I'm going to Massachusetts.
Get the cheese, the glitter, and the lobsters out. Tim's coming, boys. Oh,
yeah.
Gosh. Beware.
I may need you to come pick me up from Vegas on your road trip.
Just call me. I'll come make that quick trip down. God knows where.
I have to wake up I got to wake up early for a flight too, because good night. Flights are out of this world.
Yeah,
but anyway,
they're almost justifiable to the gas prices, like to drive. That's what I was like. I said, oh my gosh, like it's like $500-$600 round trip. And I said, the devil is a liar, man.
Mm-hmm. The devil's a liar.
Yeah.
If Georgia fans tell you not to draft him, that says something. So Georgia fans are anti-Nakobe Dean. All right.
Huh.
You know what? He's not going to be here. We'll see what he does at the NFL level. It's somewhere else because he ain't playing in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem like that. Tim's going to smell like wedding cake and strippers when the season starts.
That bottle, anyway, the baby lotion. It'll be baby lotion, baby oil. That's
yeah. Who knows what'll happen at this point?
Oh god.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're losing ourselves now, but thank you so much, Corey, for coming on. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you everybody in the chat that was here. Appreciate all 38 of you right now. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Also subscribe. Go subscribe to On the Warpath if you haven't. He puts out some great stuff. You can see his sense of humor here. I don't know who's laughing, but no, just kidding.
I don't either. I really have no idea who's laughing at me. I don't think I'm funny. So, sure, that's an honest guy. That's hand to God. I do not think I'm funny.
So you just say it anyway.
Yeah, might as well see what sticks.
See what sticks. Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on, and thank you everybody. And we will see you. What's today? Today's Monday, so I will be back Wednesday for Skins in the Game with Daddy-O. I'm going to the Orioles game tomorrow. Actually, I got invited to that. That's why I had to switch it up on you. Thanks again for switching to Monday night. Originally, we had the schedule for Tuesday. Corey's very flexible with helping out. But yeah, Saturday morning, I got texted, or late Friday night, hey, we got extra tickets to the Oriole game. You want to come? And it was a friend I hadn't seen in a while. I was like, shit, let me see if Corey can switch it up for me. But it is what it is. All right, well, thank you, everybody. And until next time. See